going to look at now is good and bad sources of statistics. So statistics is used in a lot of media and campaigns and adverts in order to get people to buy products. So we're going to have a look here at experimental and observational conditions. So we're given an infographic here which says hand sanitizers kill 99.99% of germs, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. It doesn't just say this on adverts, but it would also say it on the bottle. But then underneath it says under laboratory conditions. When tested in real world settings, they kill as few as 46% of germs. Now, I find this extremely interesting because I didn't actually know that it was as few as 46%. I thought it was 99.99%, which isn't entirely a lie. However, if we look at the question underneath, it says which statistic represents experimental conditions. Now, experimental conditions would be ones that are conducted as an experiment, and the person conducting that experiment would have control of most of the variables. So, for example, when it's being conducted in laboratory conditions, the person that's conducting that experiment has control of how long that experiment is taking place for, where it's taking place, who is conducting it, and so on. However, in observational conditions, that would be when we are using the hand sanitizer. So we might use a hand sanitizer and then we might touch something and straight away we're transferring germs onto us. So that's in a more of a real life setting. So the statistic that represents experimental conditions would actually be the 99.99% because that is what's happening within the laboratory. Then underneath it says which statistic is advertised in stores and media. And like I previously said, a lot of us would probably be aware that it is 99.99% that we hear all the time. Like I said also, I have never heard that it's as few as 46%. So here I've just put 99.99%. And then the final question says, what issues, if any, do you think there are when it comes to advertised statistics from experimental conditions? So if we just scroll back up and have a look at that infographic and think of any issues, we can start to analyse the fact that they're only using that statistic really to get people to buy the product, but it's not a real life circumstance, so it's actually very misleading. So the problems that we might come across when people are advertising experimental conditions is the fact that it's not 100% true, it's not 100% realistic, and it's very misleading. So it would be a misleading campaign in this circumstance. So what I want you guys to do now is, I've got a few more questions looking at experimental and observational conditions. So I want you to have a go at those, and good luck.